I thank you. What has happened in this Bayelsa election should send a clear message to those who, wherever they may be, think that a man who has been roundly rejected, a man who has been roundly defeated in all local government areas of our state, in the full glare of our nation, in the full glare of our state, in the full glare of the international media, can somehow, through the back door, hope to manipulate the judicial processes of our country just because his party is at the center and he has friends and colleagues in the party who are holding important national positions of authority and responsibility. But the recent posture and pronouncements of our judiciary, especially of the Supreme Court, has given all Nigerians and lovers of the Nigerian democracy confidence that such antics of manipulation and intimidation and blackmail will not succeed. And all Nigerians and all Bayelsans and all people of goodwill are enjoined to join the efforts in ensuring the sanctity of the separation of powers, the sanctity of the national institutions enshrined in the Constitution and the laws of our country. We, the political class, must do our own part in this. And politicians who lose elections on ground should refrain from running elsewhere for authority when the people have not given their mandate. Politicians who seek authority to govern people in our democracy, from what the courts have said, should know the truth about Democracy 101, which is that power derived from the people's vote, not from pronouncements elsewhere. People's vote freely expressed through the supremacy of the ballot, and not through subterfuge, intimidation, blackmail, or manipulation. That itself is subversion of the Constitution, and we should not go that route. Let me place on record our immense gratitude and appreciation to the diplomatic community, particularly diplomatic delegations that visited this great state before, during, and after the elections. For your interest, I want to thank you all for your interest and commitment to the development and nurturing of Nigeria's democracy. To my dear friends from across the length and breadth of our country and beyond, most of whom are here, I thank you sincerely for coming and for your continuing solidarity and support. To the clergy and my prayer partners, because I'm a member of the Lord's Choir also, I want to thank you for joining me every day to give thanks and to pray for guidance and support. I want to thank you for your partnership every month as we hold our monthly praise night worship. I want to thank you for joining me every year. Our November 2nd is our Thanksgiving Day. I want to thank you for the encouragement I've received, and because you have stood firmly with us in prayers, I'm grateful. May God bless and reward you. To all Nigerians and people of goodwill across the nation, most of whom are here, some I have not met, and most of whom I probably may not even meet. I want to thank you for raising your voices to insist that the right thing be done in Bayelsa. I want to thank you for insisting and for praying that good should prevail over evil. I want to thank you for praying that light should always triumph over darkness. I want to thank you on behalf of a grateful Bayelsa and a grateful Ijaw nation. This victory we know is not for us alone. This victory is for you, the good people of Bayelsa State. This victory is for you, the proud and resilient people of the Ijaw nation. This victory is for all lovers of Nigerian democracy in Nigeria and beyond, who embark on spontaneous celebrations and flooded us with congratulatory messages following our victory. I'm not surprised that our electoral victory has spurred a rebirth within our party, the PDP. I'm not surprised that our victory has inspired a new sense of hope in Nigeria's democracy. But our experience in the last election shows that we have a lot to go, lot to do together by way of electoral reforms and by building consensus. We must continually commit ourselves to work together to strengthen the internal processes of our parties and improve on our electoral system. Thankfully, this victory has helped to sustain the plurality of our democracy and discountenance fears at the time that our nation was sliding towards a one-party state. And we say no to that. Let 1,000 democratic flowers bloom in Nigeria's garden of democracy. My dear people of Bayelsa State, in my inaugural address 4 years ago, I pledged that I will not play politics with your development. I pledged also that I will not play politics with your security. And you have seen what we have been able to achieve in the last 4 years. You are living witnesses that before we assumed the leadership of this state, 2012, insecurity and violence supported by state actors was so prevalent that our people lived in fear. Businesses closed down and a lot of people moved out because the atmosphere was not conducive for development or commerce. 4 years down the line, you are witnesses to the enormous transformation that has occurred in all spheres of our state, including the security. The return of nightlife, commerce, influx of visitors, residents and new businesses springing up in an atmosphere of peace and security that prevailed prior to the build-up to the last election. The security strategy we have put in place is well known to you. In the next 4 years, we will consolidate and expand on these investments in security. We will at this point totally condemn the wanton, condemnable violence visited on our people under the guise of politics and elections. Today we acknowledge the sacrifices of our brothers and sisters who were victims of this mindless violence. We honor today the memory of those who paid the supreme price. Today we empathize with those who still bear the physical and psychological scars. Even as we speak today, even after the election, a community like Paramabri was sacked, and the hoodlum responsible, with the backing of state actors, are still going on free. The hoodlums are still free, going about. Let no one be in doubt of our government's resolve to use all available legal and legitimate means to bring all perpetrators to book. My good people, now that elections are over, we should work together to strengthen the synergy between citizens, between the government and security agencies to recapture the peace and security that prevailed prior to the elections and prior to the primaries of the other party. Bayelsa, as you all know, is the epicenter of the Niger Delta. Our state is critical to the security, stability, and economic prosperity of our country and the entire Gulf of Guinea region. Our government remains committed to working with the federal government and all security agencies to secure our nation, our state, and our people. We are prepared to work together, and we call for collaboration of federal security agencies with their hard-working officers and men in the state. We call for collaboration by the good people of this state in order to root out kidnappers, cultists, and other criminals who vandalize national economic assets in our state and in our region. The imperative of this partnership dictates that no government official or functionary at state or federal level should use his or her position to encourage, cover up, or facilitate the commission of any crime or criminality under any guise. Our government will not tolerate that moving forward. Our government will demand that authorities and persons and agencies perform their duty, working with us and the people to keep us safe. Similarly, security officials at federal or state level should not be intimidated from wherever, from executing their statutory functions for fear of retribution. Nobody, regardless of political persuasion, should be allowed to subvert national institutions or undermine the security, stability of our state, of our nation. Our experience in Bayelsa State in the recent past has shown a tendency to misconstrue membership of a political party at the center as a cover or a license to kill, maim, and destroy, while security officials look on helplessly for fear of blackmail or intimidation. Let us not allow partisanship to slide our country into anarchy. The consequences, as you all know, will be too grave. With the conclusion of the elections in this state, we are already beginning to see the return of peace and stability to our state. Our state, once again, is becoming one of the safest and most stable states in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And working together, we want to keep it so and even improve on it. I urge all our people to continue to support and cooperate with all security agencies, enduring whatever inconveniences some of the security measures that I will authorize in the next couple of days and weeks and months might cause. Elements of a more comprehensive security strategy will be unveiled in due course, some of which I've already announced. Bear with us for your own sake. Building on our achievement in security, you are aware of the transformational investments we have made in all sectors of our society, from human capacity development to development of critical infrastructure. Across our state, wherever you go, you see life-changing legacy projects. I acknowledge that our pace in the last 1 year or so was slowed down because of the nationwide economic downturn, largely due to the sharp drop in the price of oil in the global market. I thank you for and our development partners for your understanding in these trying times. In retrospect, it was a wise decision to have embarked on such ambitious and robust projects at the time we did. Clearly, there's no way any state, and certainly this state, could have embarked on such magnitude of projects with the current levels of funding. So it was a good thing that we aimed very high, and we scored very high too. While many of these legacy projects have been completed and put to use, this consolidation mandate that you have given will enable I and my team to complete the ongoing projects for the benefit of all our people. The airport project, that is now 80% completion, boarding schools all across our state, hospitals, roads and bridges, and other infrastructural projects are already at advanced stages of completion. A number of them are actually just waiting for commissioning. Faced with the reality of dwindling revenue, the wisdom of our strategy in calling for a diversification of the economic base of our state and exploiting agriculture and tourism as avenues for expanding our economy have now become more justified now than ever before. We will complete and put to use all our fish farms, cassava starch processing plants, other agricultural initiatives, as well as hotels and tourism facilities to create jobs for our teeming youth and complement revenues from oil sources. Our youth in this next 4 years, you are going to be the target of our development efforts. Our women, we will not let you down. We have already laid the foundation for encouraging entrepreneurship amongst our people through the establishment for the first time of the School of Entrepreneurship, the School of Driving, the Tourism Development School, the Agricultural Development School, and other vocational training institutions. We have also set up the Zoimbe Microfinance with presence in all the local government areas of the state to complement our development effort, entrepreneurship drive, and promote access to credit for small and medium-scale businesses. Our tour, my community-to-community tour in this state, opened my eyes more than any other time before to the realities of life of the rural people. And to all our rural dwellers, I dedicate this victory to you all, to all the women who came, some with their last wrappers in their boxes, to put on the road for me to step on, to appreciate my visit, to appreciate my humble efforts. For all the women who use their last wrappers to tie around my waist. In some communities, about 5-6 wrappers representing different organizations, and youth leaders, and all our male leaders, all our traditional rulers. We will not let you down. In this tour, we have seen the living conditions of our people. We knew what was going on, but what we saw surpassed even our imaginations. So, in the next 4 years, is going to be rural development and development for the rural people. A key focus of the next 4 years will also center on rural electrification. You know what we have already achieved, working to connect our communities. We will do more investments and promote investments in the energy sector. This is one area that we have comparative advantage because of the presence of gas, abundance of gas in this state. To the opposition, let me say this. As a product of opposition politics myself, I respect your right to hold and to pursue political aspirations different from mine. I respect your right to belong to a party different from mine. Your participation in this just concluded political process made this contest more vibrant and our victory more worthwhile and legitimate. Yesterday, we were opponents, but today we must be partners for a new Bayelsa. We must partner and collaborate for our collective security, development, and prosperity of our state and of the joint nation. Let me at this point invite all opposition parties and opposition leaders in this state to join me in working together in our government that will be very broad to ensure that our people receive the best in terms of service delivery. I salute the leaders and members of the opposition, majority of whom are already amenable to this new thinking of building a united and prosperous Bayelsa. In the nearest future, we shall be convening an all-Bayelsa summit to discuss our common challenges and aspirations, and also to map out the way forward. This is critical because political parties come and go, candidates come and go, but we are the permanent political party. We, the people of Bayelsa State. We, the joint nation. And I invite you all to put all partisanship aside now that elections are over and join us so that we can work together and build and stabilize Bayelsa as brothers. Arising from this, we will be in the vanguard also of talking with our brothers and colleagues and friends in our region to build a stronger party. We will work with our allies and friends also to build a stronger and more egalitarian Nigeria. Our nation is one of the greatest nations on earth, and we should all be proud to be co-equal citizens of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We must respect our diversity, but also accommodate our differences. The greatness of our nation lies in its diversity, and we must not do anything that will stifle that. This is what our founding fathers fought for, a Federal Republic of Nigeria. In this state, no group of people have felt the burden of sustaining the Nigerian project like we have done. In this region, no region has paid a greater price for sustaining the Nigerian dream than us. We have over the years been forced to live with environmental hazards as a price for national prosperity and survival. Our heroes from the late N.S. Ikoli, Harold Dababiri and Melford Okilo built vital alliances with political leaders from other regions to forge the basis of the Nigerian project, which has been mutually beneficial. Our heroes then in their youth, led by Adakaboro, joined the Nigerian efforts to fight for Nigerian unity. And most of them in their prime paid the supreme sacrifice. This is the John National tradition of national service. This is the glorious history and tradition of national service that has been passed from generation to generation. And I assure all our brothers, friends, and allies across our nation that this battle in our custody is in safe hands. And so, we will work with all our friends and allies and brothers to strengthen the bonds of unity of the Nigerian nation. Let me say that our nation has also kept faith with us politically in different ways, particularly with the election of our brother, Dr. Jonathan, by all Nigerians, or majority of Nigerians, in 2011 as President of the Federal Republic. The outcome of the last election in 2015 notwithstanding, our commitment to the Nigerian project remains unshaken. Our view of Nigeria is a nation of co-equal citizens, a nation where there is democracy and prosperity for all, where all are under one law. We will not relent in working with other stakeholders and allies to perfect our union and address issues of the environment, address issues of economic and political inequities that still remain in our country. In conclusion, I want to thank again our people for their support, solidarity, and prayers. We solicit your understanding and cooperation as we strive to consolidate on the gains made on security, peace, development, and prosperity. My dear people of Bayelsa State, as I said in my inaugural address 4 years ago, in our hands, this state, the glory of all lands, the Jerusalem of the John nation, will never be the same again after us. As I assured you, and this is a fact that you know, which was why you voted overwhelmingly for us, that in our hands, Bayelsa State, the Jerusalem of the John nation, and the entire John nation are in safe hands. I thank you all, my brothers and sisters. I thank you, police and parade officials. I thank you, everyone, all spectators. I thank you all, my friends who have come from the north and west, from the east, and from all across our nation and beyond. Long live Bayelsa State. Long live the John nation. Long live the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I thank you all, and may God continue to bless all of you.